Hello and welcome back to DriveDriverDriven. My name is Humble and today we're starting work in earnest on the MK. First thing up is paneling, like I mentioned before. We need to get some floors on this car in order to, well, give us a place to put stuff, for feet to rest, to enclose the cabin at least a little bit before we can flip the chassis over. Speaking of which, that's what we've done. That's how we've started this. So I've got my friend Sean here to help, and first steps first is we flipped the chassis over and I've uncovered our floor pans here. If I give a kind of a close-up look, you can see that these pans already come drilled, and I've checked and the rivets go through cleanly, so you don't have to worry about like deburring this stuff. And then on the chassis also been drilled and is already prepped and ready to have the floor pans put on. So in order to get the pans in place, what we're gonna have to do is apply some of this Worth bonded seal. This is the same stuff that I've used on the Ultima for panel sealing. And we're gonna carefully lay a bead all around the chassis so that we make sure that we have a good tight weather seal. And then we'll put the panels in place and begin riveting. I'm gonna put you guys off to the side, hopefully with a good view, and Sean and I will get to work. While Sean is applying the bead to the floor pan area on his side of the chassis, something he mentioned that I want to bring up is here on these cross braces, while not basically structural, putting some of that sealant on these cross beams will keep the panel from rattling here in the middle area. So you want to lay a bead all around the perimeter where the pan will seal, but you also want to do it here across the middle. And what that does is it'll bond the panel into the middle of the floor area, and it'll help reduce some of the rattles. Not that this car is going to be quiet, but every little bit helps for these kind of rattles all around the chassis. So while Sean is riveting the panel into place, you can see some of the bonded seal coming out from the gap. And that's what you want to see. You want to make sure that you had enough to have a good cover of the tube and the panel. And you're just going to work your way around. But a funny story about this is that both the compressor and the air rivet gun are both his originally, and this was gifted to me, we'll say. And what he doesn't know is that the air rivet gun was also gifted to me because I just haven't given it back yet. And this is the first time that he's actually used his own tool.
I don't like the way you said that.
Smooth. All right, so now that we've gotten everything riveted down, we're going along the edges and cleaning up all the sealant that is squeezed out. And just try to keep most of it off of the yellow chassis. Though it doesn't really matter too much. Nobody's going to see under here. This is where we're going to hide all our crimes. So we're just going to go through, clean up what's squeezed out, and then wipe off the chassis. And then once that's done, we can flip everything over. Done with the cleanup of the panels. I'm not too worried about anything that's left over. Again, doesn't need to be perfect through here because A, this is the bottom of the car, and B, what's more important is that we're water sealed. Not that really matters in an open top car that's going to see some amount of water ingest through rain at some point in its life, but for now, the bottom panels are going to be sealed pretty well. While the chassis is upside down, we have a couple of plugs that need to go in here while we can reach them. And we got those plugged up, and we're ready to flip the chassis when this dries, because I don't want it to stick to anything else, so we'll just wait until this sets off, and we'll flip everything back over again. That's going to do it for this quick little project. Not really much to it. A lot of the hard work is already done. You know, thanks to MK already pre-drilling the chassis, pre-drilling the panels. The panels themselves are powder coated. So a lot of this work that I had to do on the Ultima, we don't have to do here. It is just as simple as that. So next time, we're going to go ahead and do the interior panels and get those set up. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.